There's going to be NFL football played this weekend. Sure, it's just the preseason, but we will get to see actual NFL players throwing and catching the football, tackling, interceptions, fumbles. From now until the Super Bowl, we will have football every weekend. So here's what to watch for in preseason. All you fantasy football players out there will for sure be watching the running back battles on some key rosters. Will they go with a committee or name a bell cow? To me, there are two main teams that are worth watching to see what happens with the position. The Jets with Michael Carter and Breece Hall, and the Jaguars with Travis Etienne and James Robinson. The Jets have second-year incumbent starter in Michael Carter, but also took Breece Hall early in the second round of this year's draft. Carter had a decent rookie season. He did miss 3 games due to injury, but accumulated 639 yards rushing, 325 yards receiving, and 8 total touchdowns. He ended the season averaging 4.35 yards per carry. Carter didn't strike fear into the hearts of defenses, nor did the Jets' offense as a whole, but without a real passing threat, defenses could load up in the box and make it more difficult to get things going. I think if Zach Wilson can get even close to what the Jets hoped he would be when they drafted him, the running game will significantly improve regardless of the back. The argument for Breece Hall is simple. He ran a 4.39 40-yard dash compared to Carter's 4.5, and they spent valuable draft capital on him. So even if the plan isn't for him to be the top guy immediately, I think it will happen this season. In the preseason, I want to see between the two who gets more third down and hurry-up situation reps, as well as who gets the goal line touches. Those will be the big predictors of who has a higher upside in fantasy. For the Jaguars, it's a similar conversation. James Robinson has been a steady player at the position for the team for 2 seasons now, averaging 4.5 yards per carry. He had 15 touchdowns over those 2 seasons and only 7 fumbles over 2 years. He's a safe bet to close out a game if you're ever lucky enough to have that need, but I don't see him as a game breaker with 4.64 speed. We know Etienne was taken in the first round of last year's draft by Urban Meyer, missed the whole season due to injury, and now Meyer is gone. Doug Peterson is now the head coach, and he has always approached his backfield with a committee mentality. The most carries a Doug Peterson running back has ever had was Miles Sanders with 179 in 2019. The points in this backfield will be made by whichever back is the third down and passing play running back. The smart money would be on Etienne for this one. The next position battle to watch is significant outside of fantasy because if you're a fan of either of these teams, you're very curious who your starter is going to be. Let's look at the quarterback battles in Carolina and Seattle. I know Atlanta, San Francisco, and Pittsburgh all theoretically have battles going on as well, but Mariota, Trey Lance, and Trubisky should all be the starters week 1, and the coaches will make sure that's the case. In Carolina, I also don't think it's much of an actual battle, but I respect Matt Rule for pretending it is. Sam Darnold hasn't ever been good in the league, and Baker Mayfield has at least shown he can be decent. But Darnold has a year under his belt in your system, so give the guy the benefit of the doubt and see what happens in the preseason. Matt Rule is likely just sitting back hoping Baker blows Darnold away in his reps so the fan base can get behind him and the decision is made for him. If they're both bad, or if Darnold is somehow better, then the whole situation will be blowing up in their face. Expect Darnold to get the first team reps for game 1, Baker for game 2, and then likely from then on. In Seattle, the expectation following the trade with the Broncos is that Locke would be the starter for the Seahawks. However, most reports out of camp are saying that Geno freaking Smith is beating out Locke in all team drills. This is one where I truly think the preseason will determine the starter for the beginning of the season. But you could bet a large amount of money that both QBs will likely get to start games this year because that roster is just not built to win. Smith has the better athleticism, but only slightly, and he might need that to escape the pass rush that will likely be coming his way each and every week. The last thing I think is worth watching in preseason is the rookies. Everyone wants to see their team's first and second round picks get on the field for the first time. Will anyone jump off the screen? I'm looking forward to watching 3 rookies in particular. First, Kenny Pickett, of course. He was the only quarterback taken in the first round. I want to see if he shows glimpses of a future starter and being worthy of that first round grade. In Pittsburgh, they might give him some first team reps to see what they have, but reports seem to be saying that Trubisky is the week 1 starter pending anything catastrophic. Pickett has great athleticism, is incredibly accurate, but people question his arm strength and how he'll play in bad weather games due to his hand size. He can at least address one of those concerns with some good play calling. Next up, Garrett Wilson. I'm saying Wilson for a couple of reasons. First of all, I had him as my top wide receiver in the draft. And second, he gives Zach Wilson a legit target, and we need to see what he can do with good weapons. Garrett Wilson has the ability to have a breakout rookie season statistically. His team will likely be throwing a lot, unless they've greatly improved in other areas of the game, and he should be the number 1 target day 1. I bet he has at least one big highlight in the preseason. The last rookie I can't wait to see is a homer pick, Jahan Dotson. Every report out of Washington is that he's been the best wide receiver on the field and Carson Wentz's favorite target. I know Terry McLaurin missed OTAs and minicamp while waiting on his contract to get figured out, but Curtis Samuel, De'Ami Brown, or any other receiver in camp could have stepped up. Dotson has drawn comparisons to Steve Smith by Ron Rivera. If he's anything close to that, I can't wait to see it. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, I need you to hit the like button and please consider subscribing. Football season is upon us, and I'll have all your content right here. Thanks, and I'll see y'all next time.